Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, Joe Biden visits Yonkers. What is the President of the United States doing here in the city of Yonkers?
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, Joe Biden in Yonkers, New York. What was the President of the United States doing here in the city of Yonkers? Is he coming to tackle corruption? Not quite. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. How you doing? Joe Biden was in Yonkers. I was told about it, and I was, given the drop. That wasn't something that I was just gonna pop up on. You know what I mean? So thank you for the information. I appreciate you letting me know where, when, what time, and all that good stuff. But they got the Secret Service. Not messing with that. I was not just gonna show up at that event. No way, Jose. But yes, he made it to Yonkers because Kathy Hochul and Lee Zeldin are running a tight race. And so the Democrats are having to pull out all the stops. They're going all out. They said, bring in the big dog. We need the president here in New York, in Westchester County, so we can push Kathy over the hump there so she can win. It's a very close race because people are tired of what's been going on here in the city of Yonkers, in the state of New York, and in the country. And we want change. We want change. We want real change, right? And at this point, what does that look like? Because for many, many years now, it seems like the Democrats have had kind of this control over politics, specifically here in the city of Yonkers, but in the state of New York. And look where we're at. And so we want change. And for many Democrats, that means Republican. That means voting Republican. And that is what the Democrats fear. They're calling it the red wave. And that means that just people are going to start voting Republican just to vote different from what we have been experiencing for however long. People are hurting, man. People are hurting. They need jobs. They need housing. There's a lot of homeless. Just the population is growing. I mean, people are panhandling all over the place. Crime is up. And that is one of the major issues. One of the things that they are speaking about, specifically Lee Zeldin, is hitting hard on bail reform, right? The Republicans not doing too good on crime. Crime is up. Bail reform is to blame for it. There you see there's some pictures with folks here in the city of Westchester. Oh, man, Joe Biden. Who saw the clone in person? The human clone. Just kidding. But check it out. Some of our Yonkers City well-known faces got, caught here in this picture for low HUD. You can see Brenton Bullock, the majority leader's aide. There goes this guy, Popeye. No, that's not Popeye. I'm sorry. That is Robert Voorhees. I'm joking, guys. Robert Voorhees, that is the husband of Michael Sabatino, who is the director of constituent services. And why is Michael Sabatino's name important? Because he is one of the individuals that voted to extend the term limits to 3. And for that, he got a job here in the city of Yonkers, making $120,000 after he wasn't a council member anymore. His husband was also making good money with the city before they retired. Recently bought an apartment down on Warburton, the Grayston. A lot going on over there. Check out the councilwoman for the 1st District. All, just excited, I see, to see the president, Shanae Williams. You can see her there, right here. There goes her aide, Dina Robinson. So they were all there. There goes Yonkers Foodie. Check out the paparazzi there. Can anyone recognize the paparazzi? Who's that guy? Who's that fan? Stan. That is John Rubo, councilman out of the 4th District. I would imagine the president is somewhere over here, and they're all vying for an eye on the president, hoping to snap a picture. But what has the president been doing? It seems like since he became president, our country has turned upside down. Right? I mean, hell, at this point, many people would take these angry tweets over Joe Biden Please bring back the angry tweets, lower gas, lower housing costs, lower crime. Homeless population is out of hand, right? Anyway, folks, Kathy, as I said, was in Yonkers. And guess what? The Mayor Spano, he did the opening speech. That's right. The mayor was there. And Biden was also joined by Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer is running for re-election. He is being challenged by someone from Yonkers, Yonkers' very own Joe Pinion. In my opinion, you should vote for Joe Pinion. And I would love to have Joe Pinion on the show. So, Joe, if you're listening, please, sir, reach out to me, politicwithfred@gmail.com. Let's get on a reputable podcast, political podcast, right? So he was joined by Chuck Schumer, who also spoke. And he said that Biden said, actually, Biden said, not Schumer. Biden said Zeldin will not keep New York safe. What do you mean? Is Kathy Hochul keeping us safe? I don't think so. Are you guys feeling safe these days? I don't think so. So we got to take a chance with someone else, right? Schumer told the crowd, we need to fight the MAGA. We need to fight the MAGA. That's what he said at one point to the crowd. They keep talking about Trump. Trump is no longer in office. Stop talking about the MAGA. Folks, I don't want you guys to get sidetracked. That's a straw man argument. They want you to think about Trump and racism and all that just so you cannot vote Republican. Do not associate Trump and the MAGA with every Republican. You cannot do that. You have to look at each individual person, right? It's like when people talk about somebody to me, right, negatively. I don't go based off what they said. I've learned not to do that. And so until I meet the person, engage the person, and get to know that person, I don't make a judgment. And we have to do this with our politics. So go do your homework. You can't just allow people to tell you what to think, right? We cannot do that. I know we got a lot going on these days. We can't even think, right? We need help thinking. Hochul leads by 6.7%. She has a 48% favorability. 33% don't like her. I'm one of that 33%. And I'll tell you why. Because one of the first things she did was mandate masks on our children. Cuomo did not want to do that. In my opinion, I think a lot of why they came up with the scandal and got rid of him was because of a lot of things he didn't want to do with the pandemic. One of them was mandate the mask on our kids. And so, I mean, he's been always messing with women, right? That was nothing new. Why all of a sudden now they care, right? And so that's, I think, what it was. And they would get somebody in there that would do that. She also started giving out all this money for the developments that you see happening now. So who you think stood to benefit by the money that she passed? And she talked about this in the debate. She said, I was responsible for all the money for the TOD developments, right? Well, we're talking about the Ludlow here in Yonkers, transit-oriented districts and mixed use. Kathy Hochul said it herself. I put out a lot of money for that stuff. And who's benefiting? The developers. They're building luxury developments. That wasn't for people who need affordable housing. Was that a good thing? She's screwing up our city. And so they were waiting for that, these developers. They knew about this. They knew this was coming down from Albany. They got connections to Albany, right? So they were waiting for this to happen. And so they positioned themselves down here just right. That's insider trading. Hochul leads 57% among blacks. Blacks historically just vote Democrat. And some people might say, Freddie, that's not right. You shouldn't say that. This assume. No, Latinos, historically, we just vote Democrat. We have always been attached to Democrat. Why do you think I'm Democrat, right? It's just a natural progression for a Latino until he knows better sometimes. And I'm not saying that Republican is better. I'm just saying that you realize that it shouldn't be about party. It should not be about party. We have to look at the individuals. But Hochul leads 57% among blacks, 50% among New York City folks that are coming here to Yonkers, 43% of folks under 35, 22 Hispanics. Yeah, 19% 35 to 50, and 19% among women, right? Another thing, the Democrats love to appeal and pander to women, especially when it comes to abortion. They love using the abortion thing. And what's crazy to me is that if you look at the bigger picture, right, if you put things into perspective, abortion affects such a small population that I don't understand why so many people are up in an uproar about it. Most of us will never experience that, right? Maybe you know somebody, right? Somebody always knows somebody, right? But the point I'm saying is that we need to focus on things that the majority deal with, and everybody, even those who get abortions, like our economy and crime. That's what we got to think about, guys. We can't fight each other over giving, we're fighting for everybody's individual rights and all that. Guys, this group wants these rights now. That group wants this right. That, like, folks, like, we're going crazy here. What about the economy? What about our schools, our education? We're falling behind in the world, right? So you got other countries coming up, countries like China doing so much better than us. Their education system is so much more disciplined. They're teaching us Common Core. We can't even do it. The parents, can you help your kids with their homework? I feel like an idiot. Here, just do it like this. I could do it in my head. I'd rather teach my kids that, right? What is Kathy Hochul struggling with? Folks from the Upper West Side, people on Long Island, the white population by 5%, Hudson Valley, that'd kind of be us, right? And independent voters, right? Because they have independent minds, right? And so you have to think about, really, do you want to give your vote to the same old, same old? The Democrats have become this established political machine. And I was watching a video once by a former congresswoman, Tuller. She was from Hawaii. I forget her name. Got a pretty face. And she was saying that when she got to Washington after she won, that she was, like, shocked. She was in for a surprise, because when they sat them down, all the new Congress people, and said, hey, number one is the party agenda. That's it. That's what's first. Not the people, not the voter, not your constituents. The Democratic Party's agenda, the DNC's agenda. And I'm not saying that the Democrats are any different. I'm just saying that who is their responsibility to? Who do they have an obligation to? These candidates when they win, right? So right now, as it stands, Kathy Hochul's at 48.6%. Lee Zeldin has 45.6%. Is very close race. That's according to poll numbers. Google search share has Kathy at 33%, with Lee Zeldin at 66%, right? This is the first race in 80 years that there has not been a third candidates, other candidates, just two. Maybe I don't know why that is. Can Lee win? Can Lee win? According to analysts, the answer is yes, right? Hochul currently has a 53% approval rating and a 42% disapproval rating. Top issues among voters are the economy. This is very important. Our economy, 38% of the voters are concerned with the economy. Unemployment rate right now here in the state of New York is higher than the national average. Where are the jobs? We were promised the jobs. Where are the jobs? Gun violence, crime, and immigration are on the minds of 21% of the voters. Gun violence, yes, we have an issue with gun violence, but it's not the guns, right? It's the person behind that gun. Why do they feel the need to commit such an act? Healthcare and abortion, 24% of the voters. Lee Zeldin has already said that he was not going to try to, make abortion illegal in the state of New York. He's not going there. He understands that the people want it, and he's fine with that, because at the end of the day, it should be what the people want. And if that's what the majority of the people in New York want, then so be it. Abortion should be legal. Do I agree with it? Doesn't matter, because the majority of the people want it. So be it. I have to live with it if I don't like it, and so do you, right? And that's how it should be, right? This is what a democracy is. So he says he's not going to touch on that. New York, is very, very, sensitive when it comes to abortion. So he's not going to touch on it. I think it's a smart move. Why go against that? It's not smart, right? So according to the analysts also, Lee Zeldin should focus on the economy instead of bail reform. If he stands a chance to win, I think he should focus on both. I think that the economy is very important. It's super important. Absolutely. Right. But we also have to make sure that, crime doesn't get out of hand. And, one of our family members, God forbid, or us, we can become a victim of this, just because the probability or the chances of you becoming a victim of a crime is now increasing due to the rising crime rate. And so we have to get a grapple on that. And bail reform absolutely is important to talk about. But we can go deeper with bail reform, right? Why are some of these judges giving these outrageous bails to some individuals to begin with? And I get it, because I've seen cases where they gave that kid, and I saw the documentary on Netflix, Khalif Browder, right? It's put him in Rikers Island, one of the toughest jail. They should close it down, people have said, over a stolen book bag because he couldn't afford his bail. The kid was traumatized, was beat up. They show videos of him getting beat up by people in there. And God knows what else happened. So eventually he would commit suicide, right? And it was just blamed, on the experience that he had there. And so we shouldn't just create a bail reform where now everyone is being released. It should be, why are these judges or that specific judge, why did they not make, a better, decision, right? Why didn't they think more about this and think about what they were doing? And so we have to also look back at how these judges are placed there to begin with, right? It's all corruption. So you get corrupt judges in there simply, getting put into the city court position or wherever as a judge through political connections and favors, maybe nepotism. And so, of course, you're going to have judges that are just crap. They don't care. They didn't earn that spot. Judges claim their hands are tied, but that's not true. If you really look at it, bail reform actually provides a guideline to judges. Oh, yes. No, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. The judges' hands are tied. I'm thinking about what Kathy Hochul said, where she was lying because she's saying that they gave judges more discretion, which is not true. That's not true. Yes, judges' hands are tied when it comes to certain crimes because they give them a guideline, right? If it's a non-violent felony or a non-violent, or misdemeanor, I should say, something like that. Like they have guidelines that they have to go by. And so they have to follow that. So their hands are tied. However, Kathy Hochul has said this repeatedly, and I've heard, and she'll have you lead you to believe that they've given the judges more discretion, which is not true. It's not true at all. It's not true. And I read it. You can go online and look at it. It tells you right there. And I showed it on the podcast where I spoke about it. And I went through exactly what they had to do for each one of those things, right? So I told you, which, charges and all that. So we went through that on a podcast. So that's not true. She's a liar. There you go. One more reason why you should not vote for her. So anyway, I wanted to go through some of these pictures there so you can see some of our Yonkers political elite mingling and tingling and jingling. Who else do we see there? Madonna? Is that Madonna? No, it's not Madonna. Now, Mr. Rubo over here. Dave Tubiolo looking bored. What happened, Dave? They didn't let you get too close. Who else we see there? Who's this tall guy? Is that Mark Wahlberg? Again, the Yonkers foodie. I think that's Nicodemo. Is that Nicodemo? I thought you was a Republican. No, maybe you're not a Republican. Nicodemo. I think he ran for office or something. He's the teacher, also a basketball coach. Students, I would imagine. I think I had that shirt once. That's not me. Looks like me, right? If you see me. Other students, people there. Where's Joe Biden? Oh, there they go. There they go. There they go. There they go. Husband and husband team, Michael Sabatino and Robert Voorhees, not related to Jason Voorhees. I confirmed it. These two individuals here were both working for the city of Yonkers at one point. The husband here in the pink hat retired. Michael Sabatino still has his $120,000 a year job as director of constituent service. Now, what are you doing, Mike? What exactly are you doing, Mike? This guy's never been to City Hall. Everything is through Zoom meeting, and he's never on every Zoom meeting. What are you doing, Mike? And I'm just only saying it because I've been speaking about these outrageous salary and wasteful spending here in the city of Yonkers. And this is what I'm talking about. What is his job? What is he doing for $120,000? And what about that pension he's going to get that the Yonkers is going to have to pay? The taxpayer, me and you, taxpayers. Hey, Johnny taxpayer, Jane taxpayer. You hear me? You hear me over there in the southeast, northeast, northwest, southwest? You hear me? You paying taxes? Why are we paying this guy's salary for? What is he doing? Think it's fair? I don't think so. And so that's just how we have to, how it is here in the city of Yonkers. And why did Michael Sabatino get that position after he was done as a council member? Because he was a part of extending the term limits. There goes Secret Service. That's why I didn't go. Look at that. Think I'm messing with those ladies? Not me. Vote New York. George Latimer making an appearance. And there he goes. This is a clone. You cannot tell me that, or he got plastic surgery, one of the two. But that is not, I mean, you can't tell me this is not a clone. Look at this. This is a body double. Can I make this larger? This is a body double. See that, folks? This is a body double. I mean, look at pictures of him before. And I'm not trying to be like some crazy, because that don't even look like him. It's like two different guys. It's like they got the one guy that can go in the crowd and then the other guy that doesn't go in the crowd. You see this? This is the guy, the fake one that goes in the crowd. And this is the real one. Because they don't look alike. I'm telling you, if you go to Loha, look at those pictures. Those two big guys do not look alike. There goes Kathy Hochul there. I mean, they're scared. As my man William said, everyone scrambling for last minute votes. But they're concerned because it shouldn't be that close. This is New York. This is historically a Democratic state. You're right. It's almost guaranteed if you're a Democrat. And the fact that they are so close right now, and it hasn't been this close in years, they say, in many races, is concerning to the Democrats. I mean, but we have this, we need change. We need change. But I'm not saying Republican. I'm saying vote for each individual based on what you know of them. Do your homework. New York State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli, an individual that I've tagged many times in my post, to no avail. He is the man that has written several audit reports on the city of Yonkers and the spending. And his main complaint, one of his main complaints, primary complaints, is the amount of money being spent on overtime here in the city of Yonkers. Overtime is exceeding their budget that I guess they have for overtime by $4 and $5 million. So he said it himself, this guy here. This is the New York State Comptroller. There he goes again. I wonder if any of our people got that close. I mean, it's not like they were just here for people, for the Yonkers politicians. Don't let Tasha get too close. Good Lord, she don't want to get it popping. They got Secret Service there. And there they go. Match made in heaven. The people are tired of career politicians and fake Democrats. That's right. And that is what a lot of people are saying. So I am going to do something, and I'm not going to say what it is because I see there's a lot of individuals now trying to do what I do here. So just to at least get the jump. You can do it after, but just want to get the jump on it. I'm going to be doing something. So I'll be bringing that because but a lot of people are saying that. That's right. People are saying they're tired of career politicians. They're tired of the partisan politics. They're tired of Democrat, Republican. People are just sick of it because everyone's just talking crap. Nothing is really getting done. Everybody's still hurting. And it seems to be getting worse, right? We're in Ukraine. We don't want to be there. Who wants to be there? I mean, if you're going to care about the Ukraine, then there's so many other places you have to care about. I mean, how do you pick and choose? That's all I'm saying. It's nothing against the people there. I'm just saying, I mean, there's places in Africa. What about Palestine? I mean, genocide that was happening in China with the Muslims there in China that were being exterminated. Did any of you care about that? If you care about Ukraine, I'm talking about the people who like Ukraine. Yeah, we got to be there. We're sending billions of dollars for something that's been going on for centuries. And it's hurting our country. Right? It's hurting us. We have high inflation here in our country, right? Our dollar's not going as far as it used to be. It's weakening. And one of my concerns, as someone who kind of follows this stuff, the dollar going under, especially as we move towards all electric, folks. That concerns me because what stabilized the dollar has been oil. The petrodollar, right? That's what kept the dollar so, strong for so long. But as we move away from that, and they try to get us into all electric, what's going to happen to the dollar? Is that why they want us to go all digital? Digital currency, Bitcoin, and doggy bits or whatever that's called, Ethereum, Litecoin. You really want that? Do you know what that really entails? What do you know? We have to look ahead. We have to see past, the ad. You want people to truly have that control over your monetary, ability. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can shut you down right away. Power goes out. Forget it. We're done. We go all electric. Power goes out. Our cars are home, and my money is done. Right? I like cash. I like to hold it. That's why I like real estate, because I like to see and feel it. I know I did work on Wall Street, but I was, a bushy-eyed, how do you say that? Type of young kid looking, I want to make money, right? But I'm not so big on these paper stocks. Companies go under, insider trading. You don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, you're sure you can bet on the blue chips. You got those ones that are going to be safe, right? Sure. But you can make your money other ways. It's not the only way to invest. So I like to see things. I like to hold things. That's just how I am. So I like cash. I like to have cash in my pocket. Right. So, folks, we need to, really take a look at who is running for office. Enough of the partisans. People are saying that, they're tired of Republican politics. They're trying to make this about MAGA here. Schumer speaking about MAGA. Trump is not president. This is not no MAGA thing. They want you to associate Republicans with racist, white supremacists. That's not all Republicans. Just like all Democrats don't want people dependent, right? Or am I wrong? I don't know. Right? And I'm a Democrat. I just don't like the way they've been taking this country. And so it's up to the people now. And I'm about to get up out of 26 minutes. I just want to talk about that. Let everyone know, if you didn't know, that President Biden was in town today. He was over at Sarah Lawrence College. All of our elected officials were there. I didn't go. Root Rose, man, the dude got a White House pass. Did I put that up? Let me see if I got that somewhere. Dude got a White House pass. But I mean, I said it was fitting that he would be there with Biden. I mean, little joke at the end of the podcast. They do have something in common, right? They both are very touchy when it comes to little girls. And by the way, folks, this is some serious stuff. Just to be real honest, I've getting a lot of information from people. Or not even just getting information, because some people I haven't even talked to yet. They've reached out to me, and we haven't been able to speak yet. I've called people back. One woman was unable to, but was very upset about something. And she really wanted to talk to me about it in person. I'll be talking to her tomorrow. Another individual messaged me about corruption in Yonkers and tired of the BS and all that stuff. Right. And another individual, they're coming, also recently has been reaching out to me and has, talked to me a little bit about that situation with that Yonkers voice fella. And the fact that, they know the victim and the victim's family, and the fact that they still feel some type of way about that. Right. And so, the fact that, these elected officials will put this guy on TV to benefit them on Facebook or areas where, people are going to see them. The public is going to see this individual when there's victims out there who don't want to see this guy's face, to me is just shameful of them, I think, because they just care about trying to benefit off the viewership. Right. And I don't care, because I didn't even want to be there around all that mess anyway. So I don't, for anyone who might think, oh, you just wanted to, no, I didn't really want to be there. Didn't want to be there because I had to drive. I could have got in there. I was Gucci, but I'm not going there with no, Secret Service messing around with me. But, so I'm just saying, and I'm more speaking about the schools, right? And you got a man that is known, convicted of this, pled guilty of it, videotaping kids. Hello, right? That's not the best thing. And I think that also shows the character of our elected officials. And so it's time to get rid of them. And again, people are tired of career politics. And so that is why we also have to think about this term ending thing that our city council is probably going to be doing soon after this race here, after this election is over. That's what's going to probably be happening. So if you are, and I hear, by the way, the Impact event, the Get Out the Vote. Shout out to John Cater and Impact. I hear that a lot of people went. They would, And I'm glad I didn't go. I am, because Ruros was there, Alberto Velasquez was there, and who else was there? Some one other person. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't go. You want to see the guy, right? Well, Alberto, I don't care. Alberto, I'll mess with you. Me and you, I don't care. It's joking to me. But the Rural guy. But I hear that, he had Jamal Bowman, Andrea Stewart Cousin showed up. Who else? I'm sorry, I'm missing some names, but there were other names there. It was a good turnout. And it, the term limit thing, ending of term limits was mentioned, I hear. And the people who were there, kind of not happy with that. And so according to sources that, were in attendance, when that was mentioned, a lot of people kind of, were against it, I don't know, booed or whatever they did. Oh, no. And, don't end the term limits or whatever, just telling you what I heard from sources. I didn't go. I didn't, actually I did try to go because when I realized, but then I said, oh man, Rubros did. I'm glad I didn't go. I didn't even hear about it till after. By the time I got there, it was done. But yeah, so I don't know. So we got to think about that, the ending of the term limits. If you guys are not into the career politicians, as they say, people are tired of career politicians. Well, if you end the term limits, then what do you think is going to happen, right? People are going to be able to run and run and run and run. And that is one of the biggest complaints, not just in Yonkers, but across the country. People are tired of career politicians like Pelosi, right? Nancy Pelosi, how long has she been there? Chuck Schumer, how long has that guy been there, right? And I got videos of these two, both of them saying that their priority is Israel. Nancy Pelosi says, if the Capitol was to come crumbling down, I want you to rest assured that our priority will be Israel. And then Chuck Schumer says something like, Ashawal Israel, or something like that. The mayor of always Israel, right? I mean, I thought America was number one. And so I don't trust these guys. It's time for them to go. Again, in my opinion, you need to look up Joe Pinion. Maybe you ought to consider the guy. He is from Yonkers. So, Joe, if you're out there and you're listening, please, I would like to have you on the show. Reach out to me, politicwithfred@gmail.com. That's politicwithfred@gmail.com. Let's make it happen, brother. I don't think those other guys are going to give you a shot because you're Republican. But even if they do you want to sit next to a pedophile? I don't think so, Joe Pinion. It's not a good look. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. I'm up out of here. Yeah, folks, who are you going to vote for on November 8th? Don't forget to vote this Tuesday, November 8th. It's election day. Kathy Hochul, Lee Zeldin. Also, Andrea Stewart Cousin is also running for re-election. Letitia James, the Attorney General. What do you think about her? She's also up for re-election. By the way, I spot Nader Sage was spotted over at the ShopRite. He was out there campaigning. Guess they're really concerned. Anyway, folks, make sure you get out to vote. I was going to show something. I don't see it. Make sure you get out there and vote on November 2nd. I'm up out of here, Freddie Vasquez. Just always, please, don't vote for party. Don't vote on party. Individuals. It's time for the people to take over. We have to hold these individuals accountable. We have to let them know we don't care what party you belong to. Okay? We want to know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and we want you to get it done if we vote for you. And if you don't, then your ass got to go. Okay? That's it. We run things. We, the people.
Game over. Freddie wins.
I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you for watching, folks. Is it Kathy Hochul or is it going to be Lee Zeldin? I like the guy Lee Zeldin. I do, and I hate. As a Latino, I almost hate to say that, right? Why do we have this thing as a Puerto Rican guy? I almost like don't want to say, I want to go for Lee Zeldin because he's a Republican and I'm a Latino. Isn't that something? Is that like some psychological thing that I've been, programmed or something? I don't know, right? And it's not because I like Republicans. I'm just saying I don't want Kathy Hochul, folks. That's not the best for us. It's not the best interest for us. It's not, right? So, for the Latinos out there, for the blacks, we have to get out of that mentality, if you're still stuck in it, of just voting Democrat. And by the way, if you didn't know, Donald Trump's numbers among Black and Latino voters went up the second time around. he had even more Black and Latinos voting for him when he lost. Just thought that might be something that interests you. But just for the Latinos and Blacks, just, again, it's, and for everyone, forget Democrat and Republican. We must look at the individuals running, and they have to know this. We have to take back our democracy. And let's watch out that ballot harvesting stuff over at the Westchester County Board of Election. You hear that? You hear that, guys, up there in White Plains? We know about that ballot harvesting stuff. We're not saying that it's your fault, but what we're saying is that people are going up there to grab a bunch of ballots to manipulate, to influence, and quite possibly cheat the elections. And you guys need to be aware of that.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to chicken. So thank you.
In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins.
Thank you for watching
Fatality.